Melody Shari is finally exposing Martell Holt in a way that no one can ignore, and what she revealed has left fans shocked, hurt, and furious. This is not just another argument between an ex-husband and ex-wife. No, this time Melody is pulling back the curtain on the abuse she says she went through while married to Martell. And what makes this story even more disturbing is that she claims much of this abuse was actually caught on camera during filming of Love and Marriage, Huntsville, but it was edited out before it ever reached viewers. That means fans only saw part of the story, while the most painful parts of her truth were hidden. So, make sure you stay with me until the very end of this video, because by the time we finish, you will see Martell Holt in a way that you may have never seen him before. Now, let's start with the breaking point. Melody Shari went live on TikTok and began telling her side, raw and unfiltered. She asked Martell directly, "What about the time when you punched me? What about that part?" And just like that, the room went silent. Because in one sentence, Melody put the spotlight on something fans had only whispered about for years. She didn't stop there either. She explained that her own address was released to the public through Martell after he sent out a police report that had her personal information on it. Can you imagine? She had to text someone and beg them to come sit outside her house because she was afraid. That's not reality TV drama. That's real fear. And when Melody says, "I don't know what's going on, but I'm scared," you can feel that this is no storyline. This is her life. But it gets darker. According to Melody, that same day, Martell allegedly pulled out a weapon on her, told her he had thought about it, and said he could take her out. Think about that for a second. This is not just arguing, not just cheating, not just disrespect. This is life-threatening behavior. Melody told her viewers that he said he had already thought about it and decided he would. That shook everyone, to the core. People in the comments were saying things like, "This is beyond toxic," and "This man needs real help." And honestly, they're right. Because once you cross that line, it's no longer about broken trust or a messy divorce. It's about safety. And here's the chilling part. Melody believes the production company, led by Carlos King, might have known about at least some of this. She didn't say directly that she told them everything, but she made it clear that some of the abusive behavior happened while the cameras were rolling. For example, she described a scene in Las Vegas when Martell was throwing pillows at her face during filming. She said, "Why didn't they air that? The footage was there. The crew was there, but it was cut out." What does that say about how reality TV handles situations like this? Fans have been asking the same thing. Why was Melody made to film with a man she describes as her abuser? Why was this pain hidden from the audience? And even more importantly, why was Martell still being given a platform? Now, before I go further, let me just say this. We have seen similar patterns in other cases. People will cape for abusers, defend them, and make excuses. Melody herself even called out the women who support Martell online, saying, "Why don't y'all get him some help? Y'all weak." She compared it to people still defending R. Kelly or Diddy, and honestly, it's a sad but true point. No matter how many receipts victims bring, there will always be people who try to protect the abuser. But Melody isn't staying silent anymore. She told fans she has receipts, she has the reports, and she's tired of hiding it. Hook right here. And this is where it gets even more shocking. Melody said, "You want to show the part of the police report that makes me look crazy, but you don't want to show the part where you pulled a weapon on me? You want to show me yelling, but not the part where you punched me?" That right there hit different. Because it shows how Martell allegedly tried to control the narrative, only showing what made him look like the victim and Melody the aggressor. But behind the scenes, according to Melody, the truth was completely different. That's why she's speaking now. She wants people to see the full story, not just the edited version. And y'all, it doesn't end there. Melody also brought up moments when Martell embarrassed Arian Curry, the woman he left his marriage for, also known to fans, as coleslaw. Even while being with Arian, Martell never claimed her publicly. He embarrassed her in interviews, didn't defend her, and even now refuses to post her. Melody mocked her during the live, saying, my man, girl. He doesn't even claim you." And it's true. You can look at Martell's Instagram and you won't see him posting Arian. Yet Arian continues to post him and brag about their relationship. Fans dragged her in the comments, saying she looks desperate, clinging to a man who has destroyed everything around him. Meanwhile, Melody says she's focused on her healing, her children, and her businesses. She's tired of people asking why she doesn't go back to Martell. She said, "Stop asking me to go back to my abuser." And honestly, that was one of the most powerful statements of the live. Too often, people romanticize reconciliation without knowing what goes on behind closed doors. Melody is saying loud and clear, there is no going back. This isn't about fixing a marriage anymore. This is about survival. Now, let's connect this to the rest of the cast. Remember Letitia Scott and Marceau Scott? They often clashed with Melody, sometimes making it seem like she was the villain. But even Marceau had to admit privately that Melody has healed and grown. Melody revealed that Marceau actually called her after the reunion and quoted Bible verses to her. Even her friend Lauren was shocked by that. Marceau, who has shaded Melody for years, told her that he couldn't go along with the narrative anymore. That's huge because it shows that behind the scenes, even her so-called enemies can see the truth. And what about Chris Fletcher and Nell Fletcher? Melody said she once trusted them enough to include them in her most personal events, like her name change ceremony, only to later realize they weren't really on her side. She said if she saw them on the street today, she wouldn't even speak to them. That says everything, because it proves how isolated Melody must have felt, surrounded by cast members and supposed friends who weren't really protecting her. But through it all, Melody Shari continues to rise. Fans flood her comments with support, telling her they believe her, they stand with her, and they see her strength. One fan wrote, "Arian thinks she has a prize, but what she really has is a problem." And that one line sums it up perfectly. Martell Holt is not a prize. He is the common thread of chaos, linking Melody, Arian, the Scotts, the Fletchers, and even the production drama. Until he takes accountability, the storm will continue. And let's not forget Carlos King, the executive producer. Fans have questions for him too. Why did he allow Melody to film with her abuser? Why did he protect Martell's image while hiding Melody's pain? At one reunion, Carlos even cried for Martell, which fans found strange. They were like, "Why are you crying for him when Melody is the one who went through the pain?" Those tears confused people. And now, after Melody's revelations, it looks even worse. Hook, don't click away, because the story gets even wilder. Melody described another moment when Martell confronted her about who she was dating after the divorce. She calmly told the story of him driving around, confronting her, saying things like, "It's over with now." Fans were shocked because, even years after their split, Martell still seems obsessed with controlling her life. Melody even told him, "You watching me so hard." And that's the truth. Even while being with Arian, Martell continues to track everything Melody does. That obsession is scary. The bigger question fans are asking is, how much more hasn't been revealed? If Melody is only now sharing about being punched,